everybody. My name is Christine Williams. I am a licensed real estate instructor in the state of Florida. I own a real estate school called Accredited Real Estate Institute. So I thought I'd create this quick little tidbit video on the beginnings of a real estate career, since I've been doing this since 1996. I've been licensed since then. It seems that we go through these spells in life where everybody wants to get the real estate license. So what is the reality of a real estate career? Is it all fun and games? Is it just boatloads of money? So I'm going to provide you with some, shall we say, harsh realities on the facts on that, as someone who has survived this lifestyle for many, many years. So first of all, anytime you go and you talk to folks who've been in the industry, or you go to a real estate school, you will be advised to have 6 to 12 months of income in savings as your cushion if you're going to go and do this full time in particular. So if you're doing a career change, whatever your monthly expenses are, you need to have a minimum of 6 to 12 months of expenses saved up as you launch your career. What a lot of folks don't realize is, even though you go and join a brokerage, you are self-employed. You basically are under what I call the liability umbrella of the brokerage. Brokers are not required to provide you with leads, with money, with any sources of income. That is up to you. Brokers only get paid if you bring a contract to the closing table. Then they get a percentage of your money. That's how brokers get paid. So that's why you'll see a lot of companies have a lot of names on the roster, and you wonder how those folks are doing, and in reality, they're not doing anything. So we've talked about having the cushion. That's the first step. Every state has their own educational requirements, but generally speaking, you'll have to fill out an application with the state licensing agency. You will have to go through a federal background check, and you'll have to take some sort of course. Every state has a different course with different requirements. Here in Florida, the first course is called Salesperson Pre-Licensing. It's a 63-hour course. You are allowed to take it in the classroom or online. It's the exact same material. So the next question folks ask is, well, which way should I take it? It is entirely personal preference. If you're okay self-study style, then you can take it online. If you're somebody that needs to interact, or you need to have your questions answered immediately, then you're going to want to go for the classroom version. So let's talk about your initial investment into your real estate career. I just mentioned you've got to go through a national background check. That's a fee, 30, 40 bucks, whatever. You've got to pay an application fee to the state, actually fill out your name and your address and all your personal information. That's a fee. Those two things are non-refundable. You obviously pay for the course. That can vary. If it's online, it's going to be cheaper than in a classroom. That could be anywhere from, say, $99 to $400 for the course. So you've got that expense. Then once you pass, well, after you pass your course, now you're eligible for the state exam. So now you have to go and pay for the state exam, pay the state for that as well. So you get to pay to take the test. So if you pass, which in Florida, traditionally for decades, the pass-fail rate has been 50%. So you go through all that, you spend your several $100s, and you fail the test. You are allowed to take it again, but hey, you get to pay for it again. So let's say you finally do pass. Now what? You are a licensed agent. In order to practice real estate, you have to join, of course, a brokerage to make your license active. That typically doesn't cost anything. You have to join a local board of realtors, and that membership often includes a state membership fee and the National Association of Realtors membership fee. So there's a local, state, and national fee. So with any board you join, there will typically be a one-time application fee, which could be $200, $300, $400. And then you're going to pay your association fees, I'm in the Northeast part of Florida, and ours is right around $600 a year for those fees as well. Then, of course, you need to invest in business cards. You need to invest in yard signs. You need to invest in those electronic lock boxes that provide access on your listings for other realtors to show your homes to sell them. There's marketing expenses. So you see how this starts adding up. So the initial investment without buying your marketing materials, such as your cards and your signs, etc., is easily about $2,000 to go through the application process, take the course, and join a board of realtors. So let's think about this as well. You also remember you are self-employed, so there are no benefits. There are no vacation days. There are no days off. There's no health insurance. There is no 401k, friends. So you're going to have to figure out how to navigate those expenses in your life as well and buy them independently. And I'm sure we all realize that paying for health insurance as a self-employed person is much more expensive than going through an employer plan. So those are things to consider as well. You also have to pay your own employment taxes. And now that you're self-employed, guess what? You're now the employer and the employee. So for example, in Florida, it would be about 15.2% employment taxes versus if you were working for somebody, you typically have half of that taken out, the 7.25 or something like that. Another thing to think about is you have got to be a very open and energetic and confident person, because you've got to be a whiz on social media. You've got to be present because all of your competition's there too. So you have got to be comfortable doing videos like this, promoting yourself and knowing your craft. So education is key. Once you have a real estate license, that gives you no background on the day-to-day process of listing a home, how to market, what the contracts look like. That's a whole nother level of education that you need once you are licensed. So just because you have your license, please do not run out there and go tell everybody you're a realtor and you want to list their house. There's so much liability involved. So that's something to consider as well. So it's going to take you time to gain those skills to actually perform the craft. Another thing to think about, guys, the market's saturated. There's, I think 1.4 million realtors in the United States right now in 2020. That's a whole heck of a lot of people in one profession. Now, I'm going to give you some real life statistics from the Northeast Florida area. I just checked a few minutes ago. For example, you see all the headlines, the inventory's low, the housing market's hot, blah, 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 blah. Interest rates are low. Great. Supposedly it's a great time to buy. Here's the challenge. Here in Northeast Florida, we currently have, let me look at my cheat sheet, 2,361 homes and condos for sale on the market. Let me repeat that. 2,361 homes and condos listed on the market, resale homes that a realtor has listed. Now, conversely, we have over 10,000 licensed real estate agents. So let that sink in. That means 24% of licensed realtors right now have a listing. So the other side of the challenge is maybe you're working with buyers and you don't have the listing. Great. Now your buyer is competing with the 18 other buyers for the same handful of listings. So there's multiple offers. So you're going to ride around with your time and your gas showing homes to people, and they're going to go in a multiple offer situation and they won't win because highest and best usually wins. So you do it again, and then you do it again, and then you do it again. So now you've spent 4 months with the folks and they still have yet to find a house. Perfect example. I'm currently working with an amazing couple. We've been working in a very particular market, up to $750,000 in a particular area here in Northeast Florida. We've been looking for a year. In the $500,000 to $750,000 homes in the zip code we're looking in, last I checked, there were 15 homes available on the market, and some of those need some updates, so they're not even viable for my folks. So you're going to invest a lot of time in folks without a return on your money. So for example, let's just say that on average, you're going to sell in your marketplace, average home price is $300,000. So for educational purposes, let's just say the commission rate is 3%. $9,000 sounds like a hunk of change, right? So let's just say as a newer agent at your brokerage, you're on what's called a 70-30 split. So the brokerage keeps 30% because remember I said the broker only gets paid when you go to the closing table. So that means you'll get 70% of that check. That comes out to like $6,300. So don't forget, I mentioned that you have to pay your own taxes to the IRS. You're responsible. That's gross money. That's not, your taxes are not calculated. So let's say you take out 25% so that you can write a check to the IRS so that you don't come up in a year from now owing thousands of dollars. So you got to take out that $1,575, that 25%. Now, the money that you get from that $9,000 check is more like $4,725, about a little more than half. So the average first-year real estate agent across the country sells 6 homes in a year. So let's do the math, folks. 4725 times 6 comes out to just over $28,000. That is a very realistic first-year earning for a newer agent. The reality is the National Association of Realtors statistics say the first-year agent averages about $9,000 because you're up against all that competition with all the other agents and all the other folks bringing buyers around. So anyway, I'm not trying to discourage you. I am a licensed real estate instructor. I would love for you to take my real estate courses. My school is called Accredited Real Estate Institute. But anyway, I'm going to be providing like a series of quick little videos like this with some insight into what really goes on in the profession. So I hope you'll stay tuned in. Again, Christine Williams, licensed real estate instructor and owner of Accredited Real Estate Institute in Florida. Talk to you next time.